All right, so here we go. Yes, there were some very big teases in that recent Space Marine 2 post-launch trailer that we definitely have to talk about. Now, this stuff goes beyond Season 2. And we also got some new warnings and confirmation straight from the dev team about that new content drop happening this month. Now, some of you might be disappointed, but trust me, there's still a silver lining here. Also, players are asking for a ban on this one thing, claiming that it's causing players to lose progress. And some are even saying it's outright cheating in both PvE and PvP. And yes, we're going to go over your top comments later. You know what? Check this out right here. So guys, check this out. This game has over 800 champions, tons of modes including PvE and PvP, and a new upcoming event where you'll be able to collect brand new champions based on Norse mythology. I'll tell you about these heroes here in just a second, but this game is called Raid Shadow Legends and it's completely free to play. Also, I have to give a huge shout out to them for supporting this video. And right now, Raid is offering you a free legendary champion, Sun Wukong Monkey King, who's extremely powerful with abilities like stalling all buffs from all enemies before attacking them, and his Staff of Wonder attack ignores 50% of its target's defense, and it can also deal surplus damage to enemies if the target is killed. You can even fully revive with his powerful passive ability. So get your free Sun Wukong legendary champion by downloading the game using the link in the description below and use the promo code Monkey King. And don't forget to use the promo within the first 72 hours of registering to receive your free champion. And remember, this offer is only good until October 31st. And here's your chance to secure some of the most famous Norse mythological characters through the Asgard Divide event, including Loki, Thor, Freyja, and Odin. This event goes on now until November 22nd, and Loki is actually completely free. Simply log into Raid for 7 days between now and October 23rd to receive Loki for free. And to get the other 3 Norse characters, Thor, Freyja, and Odin, you'll need to complete in-game activities. And as a part of the Asgard Divide event, there's even a time-limited dungeon called the Event Dungeon. Here you'll face off against various enemies and a boss, the almighty Odin. So if you haven't started playing Raid yet, then what are you waiting for? Click on my link in the description below or scan my QR code to get your first legendary Loki the Deceiver champion for free simply by logging in. And after downloading with my link, don't forget to use promo code Monkey King to get second legendary Sun Wukong for free. And this promo code will be available only within the first 72 hours of registering, so be fast. And once you're in the game, come find me under the name Open World Games, join my clan, and we'll be legends together. Alright, so I say we get into the new updates from the dev team right here. Check it out. It says this, just to clarify, because I have a feeling that the trailer might get misinterpreted. The next update will bring the new PvE map and the lethal difficulty. Now, the cosmetics and the Neo Volkite weapon will release later in the season. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be bummed about that, but that's why I kind of warned you that I would not expect all of the content to be releasing all at once with this update. That yes, they will be trickling out Season 2 content as we go. And they did warn and say this as well, that yes, Season 2 will be more than the next update. Don't worry. So it's going to be multiple updates throughout the rest of 2024. But hey, I did not expect us to be getting that new difficulty so soon. So that's kind of surprising. So yeah, we're going to be getting the new PvE map and that new difficulty this month at the very least. But I know, still, I really wanted the cosmetics immediately out of the gates, but it looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. They don't have an exact ETA on that sort of thing, but I'll keep you guys in the know about that one. And they were also asked this right here, if you can say, is face customization still somewhere down the line? And will all classes have access to newly added weapons, or will all added weapons also be restricted? Great question right there. And here is the response from the dev team. More customization options are on track. About the new weapons, you'll see soon enough. So they weren't exactly clear about that, kind of ominous on that one, but hey, we are going to be getting a bunch more customization options down the line. And there were some really cool things happening with customization in the trailer that were missed by a lot of people. So we got to talk about it. Let's dive in here. So we have this, absolutely loved this breakdown. A couple things I noticed, and feel free to add your own. Hooded options on other classes, more on that in just a moment. Dark Angels pack just made accessible to more, or the theorized modular customization. That would be very badass, by the way, to see. Now it says one of the coming PvE operations is one or both of the squad's journey to reverse the Aurora polarities in the finale. Seems like that is the case, but if we head on over here, right here, Tactical is getting a hood, boys. So that does seem to be 100% confirmed, and it might also extend to a lot of the other classes as well. As you can see, a comment right here also agrees. I would hazard a guess it isn't limited to tactical. It'll likely be like the other chapter-specific helmets from Ultramarine Pack, which are usable on all classes. But I think a lot of people will celebrate about. But yeah, I think it looks very, very cool right here, at least on the tactical. But a lot of people did know, hey, I really want to still be able to color my cloth, because you can see how the hood doesn't really kind of like match the kind of cloth texture on the armor itself. So I still think that would be a nice option to have. Now, also, if we head on over here, there were some kind of like menu items that I feel like they purposely left in that trailer as well. Check it out. Teaser Raven Guard next. And of course, it's from the teaser trailer. And you could see also someone else pointed this out as well. Someone forgot to get rid of the Raven Guard heraldry on the top. And guess what is next? So it seems like we are most definitely headed in that direction at the very least, I would think. And someone also did some deep diving as to the actual sub chapters, or the successor chapters, I should say, that we would be getting. So check it out right here. It says Angels of Absolution, Angels of Redemption, Angels of Vengeance, the Unnamed, Blades of Vengeance, Cowled Wardens, Bringers of Judgment, and the Angels of Defiance, I think. Didn't see any Deathwing or Ravenwing, but I'm pretty sure you can create them already with existing cosmetics. But I gotta say, I am more than impressed with what they're bringing to the table when it comes to the Dark Angels. These guys look absolutely badass, and it gives me a lot of hope as to what is coming up here in the future as well when it comes to customization. So yeah, look at that, looking real sharp. And of course, yeah, the hooded tactical over there as well. You got to remember, we are also getting those new lens colors, so that's going to be a whole other layer of customization that we can look forward to as well. But some players are noting that yes, we are getting that brand new boss, the Bio Titan, who looks freaking epic. I cannot wait to see this thing finally when we actually all get to play it. I think our jaws are going to drop. But yeah, some people were saying, hey man, I kind of wish that we had different type of enemies for all of the operations. Check it out right here. Well, new boss, guess like the Helldrake, is nice. Honestly, I hope for another Extremis or Majoris one, something that can appear outside of one operation. Getting tired of you Zoanthropes. And I do totally get where you're coming from with this one, that it would be nice to see some sort of new enemy actually get into rotation for every single operation. But honestly, I'm super hyped to face off against the Bio Titan, and I do imagine that yes, we would most likely down the road be getting new Majoris and of course Extremis type enemies down the road eventually. For now, yeah, very happy with what we're getting with the Bio Titan. I've always said to you guys that I wanted to see more boss enemies in the game. And back to the boss footage here, I'm more curious about how challenging this boss will actually be, or is it going to be more about managing the, you know, majority of enemies around you as you try to take down that boss and kind of like dodge its attacks. I think that's what's going to be happening here when it comes to facing off against this huge monstrosity. But I am down for it for sure. But I do get, yeah, it would be nice to see some more Majoris enemies throughout all operations. Now we got to talk about some other, I guess you would call it, customization options happening in the game that people are wondering, like, what in the world is this? Check it out right here. It says, what helmet is this guy using? It's not in my options for helmets. I'm assuming mods, but I'm on console, so I don't know how I see it. And this is the Mark 7 helmet. It is an asset that is actually in the game because of the prologue of the game. But yeah, it would be nice to see this officially introduced as, you know, like a free cosmetic or something like that. But again, you know, cosmetics are not free when it comes to DLC sort of thing. So if they do add this in, it would probably most likely be rolled up in that season pass. But it is highly requested. But let me tell you what, the mods in the game have stirred up quite a bit of controversy and a big discussion. Check it out right here. It says ban all mods. Currently, there is a mod that allows players to use any weapon on any class. Now that goes way beyond just cosmetics, of course. And let me know how you guys feel about that. If you feel like it completely breaks the game, even in PvE, or if you're like, just let people have fun. If they want to mod the game like that, go for it. Sound off. Curious about your take. Now it says, and if such a cheater joins your game, it causes a game bug and deletes your progression. I have not been through anything like that, but then again, I haven't really run into anyone that's modding the game. Now it says characters, weapon progression, and so on. If you allow, people will take advantage to cause harm and cheat. Please, Saber, ban all mods and modding. There's no other way because people will use any loophole to cheat until modding is fully disabled. And some responses here, well, I quite like fun mods or other things that make the game more replayable, but, well, only in single player or where it doesn't cause harm to anyone. Have you reported this issue directly to Saber? We got someone that says fake news. There's no hack that can delete your progress. Try again. I haven't heard of that. However, I have heard of people losing their progress. It's a weird bug out there. It seems to be very minor, though. Doesn't seem to be widespread. I don't know if it's related to modding or not. You know, we haven't any clue regarding that one at all. But, you know, another thread popped up and also says this here. It says, please stop using the mod that makes you use all weapons. It is a cheat. I saw so many people recently playing with this mod active online. Just so you know, as soon as you use a mod online that makes you have different gears than others legit players, it is cheating. Now, let me explain. People have been using a mod that allows you to have all weapons for all classes. Sure, you can find it cool in PvE to be tactical with a power sword or a thunder hammer, or again, to be a bulwark with a thunder hammer, etc., etc. Issue is, if you do, you are getting weapons that are not supposed to be for your class, making the balancing of a trio in PvE useless. So the real subject, I have seen people use the mod on PvP. Yes, you read right, PvP. That is where we get into more of a problem, of course. But, you know, I have to stop there because do you guys still think it's cheating if it's in PvE? You know, there is a certain balance that the devs are kind of like fine-tuning this game for, where you're somewhat dependent on one another in a fight. And if you have someone that's just using absolutely every single weapon, I can't imagine that would absolutely throw off the balance of the game and the difficulty setting as well. For those of you that are playing on Ruthless and since the recent adjustments, maybe you find it too easy. Well, this might actually make the game even easier. So yeah, I do get some of the concerns there for sure. But at the same time, I do get also how people just want to goof off and have fun. And that's where I would say that perhaps it's best to leave these things in an offline mode. It's too bad the offline doesn't track your progression. That is where it's a real bummer. Back to this, it says, now, if you tell me some BS like, oh, but it looks cool, it doesn't look that unbalanced, or any other stuff promoting this cheat by trying to justify how cool it looks or how it doesn't change much, I answer you this. A bulwark with a thunder hammer could one-shot anyone while not taking damage thanks to his shield. An assault could be flying in the sky using a heavy melta or heavy bolter. That sounds actually kind of cool. It says a sniper could go invisible while holding a heavy melta ready to shoot. This is not cool at all. This is cheating because you get an advantage against the other. Now, what are the consequences? First of all, the game could very much die off as it is. If you play online with someone who uses a mod, it can destroy your saved data, resetting all of your stuff, heraldry, levels, etc. the same way it corrupted the data and save of so many people on Remnant 2. Is that true, guys? Anyone come from Remnant 2 and can confirm if that actually did happen? Now, my curious is very piqued about this situation for sure. But yeah, just to wrap this up, he goes on to say, stop cheating, essentially. Just don't do it. This is considered cheating, at least in his mind, of course. Again, I totally get the concern, especially if it does make certain things more unstable online for players potentially. That is where the real concern is. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what Saber will say about this. They've kind of officially somewhat said some things, but it's been very indirect. They say, hey, we want players to have fun. We're not going to stop them from having fun, but also we hate cheating. And that has been their assessment about it so far. So when it comes to things that are more cosmetic level, I think that they're okay with it. But once you start changing the balance of the game, I think that's where you're starting to cross the line a little bit for sure. All right, so now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It can end up right here in a future video. So let's do this. All right, so the first comment comes from KMG 1995, who says this: I'll be glad to have some new things to do. I've grinded this game like no other, probably since Prime Halo days. Hell yes. I've already 100% of the achievement list, maxed 5 out of 6 characters, and unlocked probably 90% of the cosmetics. This game has been a pleasure to play and has reminded me of how fun it is to be a gamer when a dev team can put out something that they truly appreciate the fans. Yeah, you can feel it from this dev team. They absolutely admire what they're working on, admire this community, and respect it to their core. You can feel it, and it matters big time with this game. All right, so we have this one. For those of you that don't know, you can imagine Volkite weaponry as like a longer range beam-based Melta. So sounds like that's what we can expect from the brand new pistol that will be added to the game. And we have this right here. To play in a Dreadnought and in Terminator armor, boarding a hive ship or Gene Stealer infested Underhive would be a dream for the final season, I believe you're saying. But maybe that's good for Space Marine 3 first also. Yeah, Dreadnought would be absolutely badass to see. Again, they did make some comments about that, by the way. They have no plans for it currently, but you never know. They might be keeping that one secret, but that would be badass for the Horde mode. That's how I think they could implement something like that. And don't forget to join me and celebrate Norse mythology in Raid, because I have a brand new Norse update. Yes, you can click that link in the description right now or scan my QR code on the screen to get your first legendary Loki the Deceiver champion for free simply by logging in to Raid Shadow Legends. And also by downloading through my link, you could use the promo code Monkey King to get a legendary Sun Wukong for free as well. But yes, thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Check out Raid Shadow Legends by following that link in the description below or scan that QR code on the screen.